shit. Gang shit, good gang shit. Good morning and welcome. Well, I don't know if it'd be good morning for you or not, but hello and welcome back to the Honda Resource. On today's episode, I'm working back on the Green Dragon. I started working on it yesterday for a little bit and didn't record anything yesterday. I was just trying to knock some stuff out while I had a little bit of time. But also yesterday, we also got in our new seats for the Dragon. These are PLM racing seats. These are available on my website, HondaResource.com. They come in pairs. We have black and red available. Also, I have some new PLM seat mounts for these. They're actually over here in the box, but we're gonna be putting those in the Dragon. Also, I stuck the motor back in yesterday, as well as the drive shaft. So we got the drive shaft reinstalled, and then you see the motor there. So this drive shaft, actually the front half of it is new, because previously I had busted the boot on mine. Yeah. So anyway, got a new drive shaft, or the front half, and got it all reinstalled here. The motor is bolted back into the car. It still needs a little bit of stuff to go to finish up on the install, but I've got the driver's side axle in. I don't have the passenger one in yet. Let's see there, because the boot is bad on the outer CV joint. It's yeah, see right there. So I've got the replacement boot here, but I don't have the pliers to do the clamp there. So I'm gonna take that up to my buddy. This is Sunday, so I guess maybe tomorrow, and see if I can get him to put that boot on for me. All right, so you can see I started getting the motor bolted in. Right now it just has the actual engine mounts holding it. You know, nothing else is attached. The wiring harness is just tucked over here in this corner. Shifter cables, fuel lines, all that stuff is just hanging out. The radiator's just hanging out. So we still got a good bit of stuff to install to make it to where it's like complete. But I guess I'm gonna work on that for a little bit this morning and see if I can get that to where at least we can try to see if it'll start up. I don't know if the injectors are stuck or not. I've had them soaking in some gasoline while it's been apart, but it's been apart for about 2 months. So we'll see what it does, you know, never know. I probably am gonna send those injectors off just to have them clean, just to make sure that we're good to go on those. So let's get started with it. All right, so quick update. I've done a few other little things. I didn't really record anything because I can't find my stupid mount for this GoPro. I made a little more progress, got the exhaust on, got this one intercooler pipe just sat on here. I've got to tighten the clamp once I put the intercooler on, but I got the weight plate mounted. All my fuel lines on. I still got to put the injectors back in it. And then the shift cable's on. Clutch line is back on. So yeah, we're making some solid progress. It's coming together quick, but it's just, man, I'm just ready to get this car together and sold. Move on to some other projects and other business ventures and that kind of stuff. So I guess here in a few, I'm gonna get the injectors installed, and then I can work on getting the intercooler installed. But I don't know, I'm just not in the working mood this morning. You ever get like that? If you do, drop a comment below. I'm anxious to get like the shop cleaned out which this has already helped greatly. I mean, I've had this weight plate laying in right outside my shop door for 2 months. I've had a CRV table sitting over here full of parts for 2 months. This CRV table right here is pretty much, I took everything apart and had it on here. So I had like the turbo, the exhaust pipes, intercooler pipes, just a whole bunch of stuff sitting on this one table. So now I can get this table out of the way and try to get this crap out of the way. And then I had the engine over here on the cart, so obviously it's out of here. So making some progress. All right, so I just got everything up here pretty much back together, with the exception of one T-bolt clamp. We'll get another clamp tomorrow or something. I'm gonna see if it'll start up. I'm hopeful, but not exactly confident about the injectors. If it don't start, that'll be why. So let's see. All right, so we got fuel pump. Sound like we got fuel pressure. So the neutral. Hey, started right up. Get my stupid plates for the hood. So really, the only thing left on getting the car finalized is installing the seats, which I have here, and then getting those plates for the hood. I sent those off like before I pulled this thing apart, so it's like the first week of August. I don't know. So I guess I'm gonna have to go get those from the where I sent them to be cut, and take them somewhere else. I don't know. So, anyway, I'm gonna put this other front wheel on, or the front wheel on the driver's side, the one I've already put the CV axle in. I'm gonna back it out and see if I can install these seats. All right, so you guys saw I got the Dragon running, but now I've got to make a trip and go get my CV axle repaired. Get the axle loaded here. My trunk's a disaster, but then I've got some tools here because I gotta go look at a car while I'm out, get the new boot there, and then also got a CRV table back here I go take over to my buddy's house. And I got my old E85 jug. I'm gonna get some more E85 while I'm out. Gotta go pay the water bill and all kinds of mess while I'm out too. So we're just making a trip of it. We'll see what all we can get done today. I don't get very many days off where I can just go and complete errands and that kind of stuff. So that's what I'm working on today. Alright, so just went and got some E85. Got 5 gallons, $14. You see there it's right at 85%. So that's good that it's at 85. And now I'm gonna pack up and head back to the house. Just went and put a new boot on my CV axle and ready to make it back to the house. It's a Volkswagen van with a Subaru motor in it, Boxer. It's pretty cool. He did all that work himself. He owns a whole motorcycle shop down here. So, yeah, let's get down to the shop. Well, down here at the shop now. Get the car back up on the lift. And got their 5.9 front axle here. Ready to go back in. Got the new boot on here. Went ahead and put some new clamps on this. But shout out to my buddy Jamie. over at TVR Automotive for a couple of these clamps, and also allowing me to use his tool to put them on. So we're gonna get this put in here real quick, and I gotta tighten up my bolts for the track bar, and then we should be pretty much done down here. And we'll have to put the wheel back on, and we'll clean all this old grease and stuff, because it's got a bunch of grease from where that other one was throwing grease everywhere. I'm gonna clean all that mess up, make her look good. So, for any potential buyers, while we're here, we have some Integra spindles with drive shaft 5.9 axles. So it also has a 5.9 hub here, whatever, and then it's got hard race ball joints. It's got drilled and slotted rotors, which who really cares about that? It's got blocks drag coilovers, which apparently need to be tightened up a little bit. Skunk2 upper control arm, camber kits, whatever. And then it's got all energy bushings, so you can see the insert there, and it also has the insert there and the one there. So all energy bushings in that, and then obviously the traction bar or whatever. So braided brake lines all the way around, and then that's pretty much a wrap on what we got going on with the front. Got all that back together. Okay, and then just while we're covering it, let's talk about the rear suspension. So the rear also has the blocks drag coilovers. It has the Hub City trailing arms. Got Hub City lower control arms. It's a Hub City diff mount. CRV diff. It is open. Actual diff with the welded clutch packs, welded and well, pinned and welded clutch packs. Has some DCA performance adapters for the Land Rover drive shaft. This drive shaft has been shortened. I had it done by Fleet Prod in Tuscaloosa. So we got the viscous mounted there. And it also has a DCA performance adapter up here. So you can see there more of those energy bushings on this side. And it also has the hard race ball joint over there, and all this grease on that wheel is from that boot. That wheel was over here, so I've just got to clean all that back up on my wheel, but these wheels are not included with the car. So but yeah, back here we have a DP race parts fuel cell. It holds right at 5 gallons. It's got 2-8 supplies. Come over here to 2 Aeromotive pre-filters. You can see there. And then go to two Bosch 044 fuel pumps that are wired with 10 gauge wire, or maybe 8 gauge. It's actually 8 gauge. They have the 8 gauge wire going to both of them, so it's pretty heavy duty. 2 separate relays and the relay panel inside to control these. And they actually come out of the Bosch 044s and Y into a single -8 that goes to the front. It's got a -6 return. So the return's right here. But back to the suspension, we got some ESM race spherical toe links. Got the braided hoses back here. Got a hydraulic staging brake. No quote-unquote emergency brake. Also on the axles back here, these are insane shaft 500 horsepower axles. Haven't had any problems with them. So that's pretty much a wrap under the bottom side here. It does have slotted EBC rotors with EBC yellow stuff pads. Good stuff. All right, so we got the car back on the ground. I noticed a little bit, so dadgummit, I forgot to get the clamp. That's what I meant to get today when I went to Tuscaloosa. Dang it, maybe I'll get it tomorrow if I can remember it. Anyways, I put it in gear and I was hearing this noise. So as I said, I put a new front half of the drive shaft on, and the yoke right here is much bigger, so it's rubbing on this collar on this bearing. So basically all I did was cut that collar off and it quit the squealing. Boy. So anyways, I got that little piece cut off of that bearing. Now it don't rub. Sounds perfect. So I'm pretty happy about that. Also went this morning and picked up the plates, or the templates for my plates for the hood. I sent those out almost 3 months ago and they still hadn't been cut. So I just drove up to Birmingham, about 45-minute ride, picked those up, and now I've got someone else hopefully lined up to cut those for me. So I'm gonna try to drop those off to them maybe tomorrow, because they're down in Tuscaloosa, which is the opposite way from where I went and picked them up this morning, and hopefully they can get to them next week is what they said. So it's one more thing to knock out. You know, once we get those plates made for the hood, I get this passenger seat mounted in the car, then we're posting the car up for sale. So I'm gonna take it down the road maybe once or twice just to make sure all the gears are fine and everything, which, I mean, like I said, we replaced a lot of stuff in the transmission, so everything should be tip-top shape, ready to go. Yeah, I'm just so happy to have it back together, but I'm really looking forward to getting started on the EK and doing a budget K20 all-wheel drive, something a little more, I guess you'd call it streetable. I want to be able to hop in it and drive it anywhere, put flex fuel on it, run AC, heat, full exhaust, full interior, all the amenities, just like it was intended to do it that way. So again, well, you guys probably haven't seen it. I haven't introduced it yet, but one of my good buddies actually donated this car to the channel. It's a 96 hatch, I believe, and we're gonna be using this one, or we have one more that another buddy is donating to the channel, and we're gonna take the two of those and make something really nice. The other one has like a 99 2000 front end conversion, and it comes with a lot of the CTR interior bits and that kind of stuff. So yeah, as soon as we sell the Dragon, we're gonna get started on this one. The plan for this car is to do, like I said, K20 all-wheel drive budget setup, and when I say budget, I mean budget. So the goal is to have 5,000 or less in the whole car, driving K20 all-wheel drive. Now I will say this, I do have a lot of the parts already, so I don't want to be like, oh yeah, I acquired everything for $5 grand. There's things that I already have that I took out of the Dragon that I just kept, such as the old original ARP head studs, because I've got L19s in it now. I've got a twin disc clutch in there that I replaced with a triple disc in the Dragon. So you know, I've got that twin disc in there. I've got to put some new clutch disc in it, but those are like $200. I mean, typically you can't get a twin disc clutch for $200, but here I have it. So you know, and then there's other stuff too that I'm gonna be doing with a budget mind setup. You know, a diff mount, I've already got it here. Turbo manifold, already got it. I've got a K20A2 short block that I got in the tray for labor. You know, I got a K24A head, but it's the RBB head, so I've already got that here. I haven't decided if I'm going to use that or use a K24A1 head and put it on there. K24A1 is very similar to the PRB head. It only has vtec on one side, but we could do it just like I have on the Dragon. The Dragon actually has a K24A1 head. It has half-lock vtec, so one intake and one exhaust valve on each cylinder, right on VTEC lobe at all times. And then Dragon has K20A2 cams in it. I have a set of K20Z3 cams that I plan on putting in this, regardless of which head I put in it. So you know, I'm just gonna piece together a lot of stuff, have some fun, but first we got to get the Dragon sold. So if you guys want to go ahead and start putting the word out that it's going to be for sale, it's going to be for sale soon. I haven't really decided 100% on a price tag yet, but I'm going to go probably around 40,000 range. I mean, fresh trans, it's got a CSS K24 in it, and it makes 904 horsepower, tuned by PFI Speed, and it's got a triple disc clutch, competition triple disc clutch, drive DSS 5.9 front axles, insane shafts, rear axles. It's got the Speedfactory intercooler, Speedfactory sidewinder. All right, so Go-Autoworks did the intercooler pipes, and so it has 3-inch over here and 3.5 inch on the cold side. Go-Autoworks also did the up pipes. And it has Hasport Mounts, Hub City rear bracket, because Precision 6466 Gen 2 ball bearing turbo. Got tile 50mm wastegate, Turbosmart 60mm, tile 50mm blow off valve, tile 60mm wastegate, and it's got a DP race part scatter shield, got a Wavetrac LSD, the gear X 1 through 4, and the trans with RSX 5th and 6th carbon synchros. All the gear set has been REM treated. So it has Skunk2 center feed with a 2-liter spacer. It's got a Ross 90mm throttle body, 4-bar map sensor, dual fuel rail setup. I'm only using the upper rail right now. The lower rail is in. It has stock injectors in it right now, but they're not wired in, so it's not doing anything. All right, and then it's got the aeromotive regulator, dash 16 hoses on the radiator. It's got a Mishimoto shroud setup. Got a Skunk2 radiator. It has Supertech valve train. This is a K24A1 head. It's a half-lock VTec with K20A2 cams, 50-degree VTC. The block is CSS. It has Saenz 300M rods with 625 bolts. Arias pistons. I don't remember the compression right off the top of my head. I want to say they're about 10 to 1. It's got King Race bearings all through it. The block is also O-ringed. It has a L19 head studs with a Cometic head gasket. I'm trying to think of what else. Oh, it's got the PRB oil pump. The car is running on AEM Infinity, and it has the wideband integrated into it, oil pressure and the fuel pressure all integrated into it. So it's a pretty nice little setup there. And it's also got a Straightline Motorsports catch can. The car is dirty right now, so it's been sitting like right here right beside this S2000 for like 2 months until yesterday or day before when I moved it to put the motor back in. I think I've already mentioned it has the drive shaft shop 5.9s on the front. Got the insane shaft in the rear. It's got a Land Rover Freelander drive shaft. It's got a CRV diff pinned, and then it will not come with RPF ones. I'm going to put it with the drag wheels, so it'll have 4 slicks. The front slicks are on weld wheels. They're 13 by 10 wheels on 24.5 inch slick by 9, and those are Mickey Thompson's. And then the rear is a 15 inch VMS wheel with 24.5 by 8. So on the interior, it's got a AIM Strata dash. It's got a KTuned race spec shifter. It's got the KTuned shift cables. The S1 knob I'm keeping off of this shifter. I have another shift knob I can put on there. It has a Willwood handbrake. As mentioned, it does have AEM Infinity. It's down there. It's got S2000 steering wheel with the EK steering column with the EG brackets welded onto it so that it actually mounts properly. It's got brand new PLM seats. Haven't even put the passenger one in yet. It does have a cage. It will not certify, I don't think, but it is caged. This is what I'm saying. I don't think it'll certify just the way it's routed there. It's better than nothing though. But it runs good. Just time to move on to other things. So if you guys could spread the word, I'd muchly appreciate it. So anyways guys, I appreciate everyone stopping by. Check out this video. Again, if you would please share it, comment below, like it, help me get the word out that the Dragon's going to be going up for sale. it's been a fun road with it, but it's time to move on to some other projects and more builds, something that more affordable for me. Love you guys. See you on the next one. Peace.